And off we go from Denver. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Calling no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Another run with Sanders. And this may be a carbon copy, as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one, as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Jackson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, short of them returning it for a pick six, that was about the worst start you could ask for in this one, because your advantage of getting the ball first is gone, and they're set up a short distance from your end zone. Now you're counting on your defense to prevent a touchdown, and your offense, you better be ready to come out swinging on the next series.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. That good for 19 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Mixon will cross the line. He's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is, I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year, as his kick is good.
Makes the score Raiders 7, Broncos nothing.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Jones throw here, taken in by Gesicki. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and that will force a turnover on downs. Now it's Mixon running right. There's a nice move. Down to the 42, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now Carr. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Touchdown! Jamar Chase from 4 yards out. And the Raiders lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Raiders 14, Broncos nothing. Daniel Carlson to kick off for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one. End zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback in the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
14, Broncos nothing.
This offense in midseason form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10. Now Carr on the bootleg. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. Touchdown Raiders. Joe Mixon. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0.
Broncos nothing. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On 2nd and 9, Jones. On the right side, open is Gesicki. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll try and throw for it here. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Coleman. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Jones. And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down. A field goal try forthcoming now for the Broncos. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And his kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl
in. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Now a play fake. Carr.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. Finding room at midfield.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And some space here. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for Las Vegas.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Now Jackson.
He's going to drop this down to Sanders.
Showed that brute strength, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action.
Second down and 7.
To throw is Jackson. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Another completion there. And we think back to the draft in the spring. This franchise essentially handing him the keys to the operation, a top 5 pick. Charles, how ready do you think he is?
I think he's ready for the NFL in terms of size, speed, the makeup of him, the character of him. The key's going to be, will this team accept everything he brings to the game and adapt to it? Not just necessarily plug him into something that he doesn't do well.
Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Kenny Moore.
And the Raiders are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. The point after is good. And the lead is down to 28-10.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On play action, now Carr.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Got a man. It's Brown. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And not much room to speak of. We'll get about 3 up to the 41.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun now on third down, Carr.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete.
Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room.
Look at the big fella go. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10.
Now Carr. And that's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Meanwhile, Carr's throwing into the hands of Pitts here.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he'll be brought down well short of the 1st at about the 9-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. This is a 26-yard attempt. The kick by Carlson is good.
So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now Jackson on 1st down. And Davis with it left side. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave. Embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run. He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson.
And that's caught. It's Bryan Edwards. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team run the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1. The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak. And while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close. But the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener.
From the gun, Jackson. Sanders has it over the middle. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Jackson now. And once again, this is Sanders. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
A gain of 3. It's 4th down.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Jones throwing on 4th down and able to find Gesicki as tight end. And he is going to have a Broncos first down on a well-designed play there. That gets him 16 to move the chains. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Mixing up the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
99 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Now Carr. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Touchdown! 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr.
And the Raiders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Broncos 10. Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Jackson to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Broncos on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps along the way, maybe not the plays you expect to see or want to see. But remember, he's not going to the Hall of Fame off this first start. It's going to be an accumulation of games before we have a fully accurate reading.
It's the pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
Jackson will throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Good for Broncos. First down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. Shoves him away. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Now it's Jackson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have a Broncos first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 108 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On play action, it's Carr. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. Here's a give to Mixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
In need of only about the length of the football here on second down.
Once again, they run with Mixon. And he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
Carr going to look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. In on the sack, the former Buckeye, Tyquan Lewis. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
To throw is Carr. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Jackson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for Las Vegas, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns.